Hi guys, welcome. I'm going to give you a quick run through of one of the acrylic paintings that I'm busy with. I've got a lot of it on the hyperlapse, so I'll just talk you through it as we go. Enjoy, it's fun, and here we go. So I'm a mixed media artist. My go-to paint is acrylic, and here we go. So I'm laying up on my canvas. I am doing my pencil drawing. Unfortunately, you can't see it that clearly. My focal points on this particular canvas are these two large boots that I absolutely love, these funky boots. Basically, all I'm doing with the boots is I'm using black, grey and white, and those are the sole colors that I chose to use for the boots. I'm really not mixing. I'm blending a little bit with the paint on the canvas, but as we know, acrylic dries really quickly, so as far as too much blending goes, that doesn't really happen. So yeah, I am busy working as fast as I can. As you can see now, I've got it on hyperlapse, obviously. I'm working steadily through the boots, and basically I had a lot of black paint left over, so I thought, let me just get onto Mickey and use as much paint of the black paint as I can. So I skipped ahead, like I tend to do, and started off with my Mickey Mouse, using as much of the black paint that I could, so as not to waste any paint. Oh, I hate wasting paint. I hate it, it's like a pain. Okay, so there's my Mickey. As you can see, he is coming into the fore. Now, I didn't actually show you, you can see that hint of yellow on the background. Sorry, I skipped ahead. I actually did the bit of yellow with a bit of airbrushing before I actually started filming. But I don't really worry about that too much because I'm not sure many of you guys have got an airbrush. So basically it was yellow paint, I used a stencil, I airbrushed, and then I glossed a little bit over to fade some of the stenciling out. Okay, so now I'm moving on to Daffy Duck. And what I love about the black against the yellow is it really stands out. Okay, it's really nice and bold. Again, for Daffy, I just use the black, grey, and the white. And obviously when it comes to the beak, then I use different colors, but mainly for his body, it's the black, grey, and white. And there he is giving us the thumbs up. And he always has this really cool hairstyle, which I absolutely love. Now I start to use light blue. I just want to have a look and see what the color of the blue is that I'll be using. So this one is aquamarine. Okay, so I'm using aquamarine just to fill in the background. So there I am doing all my background, and you can see our cat in the hat is starting to actually make himself known. So there he is, yeah, just filling in the last of the background, and there I start with the fishbowl. There is a little fishy guy, and he's jumping out of the bowl, and I use orange, a little bit of red, and obviously for his eye I use turquoise, and then I really try and make that eye pop. Also, what I've done with this little guy, as soon as he is finished, you'll see I use a lot of pen just to give him detail. On the fishbowl, what I tend to do is I will, if I want to give a glass effect, I'll finish the little fish, and then I will use a lot of white, the aquamarine, a little bit of gray, and a little bit of orange just to pull through, just to show the reflection of that fish on the glass. Okay, so I really like this little guy. I think he's got a name, but I don't know what his name is. I just think he's hell of a cutish little oakie. So there I am busy with the bowl, trying to build it up, but still give the idea that it's see-through. And as you can see, you can still look through the bowl and see the yellow in the background with the stenciled pen behind there. Okay, and now he's got his eye and he's starting to look really fishy, and there I take my Micron pen and I start to do all the little bits of details where I'm doing his little scale. I love detail. You'll see in a lot of my work there is a lot of detail. I try sometimes to tone it down because I can tend to get a little bit carried away, but less is more doesn't quite fit my, that will not be on my epitaph when I pass away one day, because I like more is definitely more for me. All right, so now we are going on to the cat in the hat, and what I've done is I've taken red and a crimson, and I've actually added fluoro red, which just gives it that absolute pop, pop, pop. Also on his little tie as well, I use a lot of fluoro red. I just love that bright and bold and shiny color. It just blows my mind and makes me so flippin' happy. So yes, there he's got his little tie, and you can see as in the little creases there, I make it a bit darker, and then obviously I use a lot of fluoro where it's catching the light, which I go to. Okay, now we're on to the mushrooms. Mushrooms, I love it. Okay, a toadstool. I know it is a toadstool. I grew up painting my great aunt's toadstools in the garden, and I have very fond memories of that. So you'll see in a lot of my paintings I use toadstools. Again, I use the crimson with the fluoro red, and I use a lot of pen work in the stem of that as well, and the underneath of the actual toadstool. I'm busy doing the Cat in the Hat's tie now. I've also added to the tie, I've added a bit of floral coral, which is really a lovely color as well. So I've added that, and I'm just doing the final details. What you'll see is I'll use a little bit of a hint of white there just to lift it a bit, and there are all the dots on my toadstools, which I love because I mean they're just so darn cute. Wouldn't eat them, but love to look at them. Okay, so there I'm doing the pen work on the toadstool, and I've used my size pen is a 5 on that Micron pen because I want it to be quite bold. Yeah, and even you'll see when I started the hair on the Cat in the Hat, I like all those hairs to be quite bold. So you can stand quite a distance away from the painting and really get a good idea that he is quite a hairy Cat in the Hat. Back to Daffy Duck, where I'm going to finally finish him off. That is going to happen any minute now, but I seem to be a little bit busy with a fried egg. Okay, so there we are on Daffy's beak. Use a bit of orange, use crimson again just to highlight, use my floral coral in there as well, just to give depth to that. And then I also use my Micron pen again. There's Daffy's eye, so he's slowly coming to life. I just love this cute little guy who actually has quite an attitude, quite cheeky. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. So there he is, and he's coming to life. And we can slowly see that my one section of the painting is actually starting to come alive, and I'm really enjoying how it's turning out. That's all for today. Tomorrow we're on to the next bit of the painting. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe.